Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing the Nations Cup race. This will be my first one. Please like and subscribe, it helps support the channel. Thank you for watching this. Let's get into it. So we are currently starting P5 in our first ever Nations Cup race. And the mistakes will prove that I have not had much practice at all on this track. I've only had a few laps. So off the line, getting a decent start, up in the third gear, picking up the slipstream from fourth place as we make our way into turn one. So as we enter turn one, we brake a little bit early because the car in front. So as we enter turn two, the car in front goes wide again, and we end up getting a wash of oversteer and spinning. As the race goes on, this will prove evident that this was not a good start at all. So now we have to go ahead and make up some more positions. And then another bit later, we end up coming across these two cars with the car in front having a penalty in battling side by side. As we come down this very long straight, the two cars in front of us are very much still fighting, which is allowing us to catch up to them as we are now within about 9/10 of both of the cars, as we now go into a very fast right, no need for lifting, as we spot our braking point down to fifth gear and then all the way down to first gear, gain a lot of time and have stupendous traction, ignore my comment from earlier, and we end up overtaking the Nissan, but he ends up going off the track, and now we encounter two more cars and end up passing the Nissan, another Nissan. So now we are up into P11, right behind Bobby, and we are now side by side. We end up passing him, but he gives us a little nudge on the rear end, so we have to compensate for that. Now as we went wide and we scraped the wall just because we went wide in that earlier corner. Just ignore my poor shifting. Just not completely used to the car as we go, as we barely stay within the track limits. Don't know how we didn't get a penalty there. Now as we break into the double chicanes, we end up finding a group of 3 cars as we make our way into lap 2 out of 10. So as we cut to a little bit later again, down this very long straight, we are now P9, and we have caught up to another group of cars. As you can see, we are very much gaining on them. Down into this corner, I'd say missed the apex, but we had a very good exit, and now we are within 1 second of the group of cars ahead. Now down another extremely long straight. It's just exhilarating going down this very long straight at 184 miles per hour. Just the tiny lift off there. Down to first gear, missed the apex by a mile. And somehow we haven't lost that much time. Then and now another car has gone and joined us. So we are now in a gaggle of cars with the Audi right in front of us, trying to overtake for 7th place, and we are now just going to be a passenger in this situation. I do believe it was my fault, but I just break on my usual point and end up turning in too much, going into the Audi and spinning off. Now we do lose about 2 positions, and we have to struggle to get back on the road. and now 12th place has all but caught up to us as we go very wide on this right hand turn, almost nailing this left hand turn, just under the limit. As we now make our way into the double chicane, we brake a little bit too early, and now down into first gear, end up riding the curves a tiny bit too much. Could have gone for a wider line there, as we now make our way into lap 3 out of 10, and we are apparently catching Bobby again. As I just don't know how we are catching these people. But then again, we lost a bunch of traction, and now 11th place has overtaken us. So we are now 12th. This race just does not look good for me at all. As we are sent off into the wall by by the by 12th place. So we're now 13th. That's not good at all. Let me check my list to see that 14th has also caught up to us. And here's why I make the mistake of going way too narrow, and I end up getting a penalty for this, as you will see. Yep, half-second penalty. Not too bad, as if I can pull out a gap to the car behind or not, as they as the Nissan overtakes us, and we are now dead last. I don't know how this. Actually, I do know how this happened. I'm stop lying to myself. So we're now just sitting behind the Nissan as we gain the slipstream, looking left to right, end up going left. Just a drag race now down this extremely long straight for the third time of this race. It's an extremely long race, extremely long track actually. As we end up going deep down into first, riding the curb, which we should not be doing actually. But we were somehow slightly pulling away from 14th place now. So as we round this corner, we will end up serving our penalty as we go down into first, lot under the limit, just trying to be extra cautious to not get another penalty. That would be just too devastating. As we have now served it, we are now going down the third long straight. But yeah, not much else happens in this race except for this Honda going off in front of us. But yeah, as we now seem a little bit penalty happy as we do not brake. I completely forgot to, and we end up getting another half-second penalty for going wide on that corner. It's really tough to get a penalty there, as we end up out-braking ourselves into the first chicane of the double chicane. Yeah, this race is just uneventful, other than me getting penalties in a very small number of overtakes. As we come into this corner, down to second gear, down to first, and we don't end up spinning again this time. It's actually a very nice streak. Now as we come down here, we can see the car just ahead of us. Now as we end up cutting to a little bit later, Bobby has pulled another second to us. Went from 3 seconds to 4 seconds as we end up serving our penalty, which costs us a lot of time down this straight. Again, ignoring my earlier comment, it really is that bad, as you lose so much time. And now we go wide right here yet again. And and luckily we don't hit the wall, but end up cutting across the grass just the tiniest bit and end up getting this one long corner correct. We don't go wide there, which is very much a good thing, but it's also under the limit as we end up coming to the double chicane yet again for the fourth time. So about a lap later, we are in 11th, still in 11th place, and we are coming into the boxes this lap. As you can see, P9 and P10 are also coming in. We end up tapping the outside wall right there just before the box animation comes up. So you see now as we enter the box, we are swapping out the tires for new fresh mediums. And we didn't refuel there because we had so much more fuel than required. So cutting on to a little bit later, we end up catching the Audi that we were fighting with earlier. So as you can see, that I couldn't find a way past, so I had to back out into the double chicanes now for the 8th time, as it's about 2 laps later from when we boxed, and we end up losing control of the car, but managing not to turn it around this time, thank God. Anyways, we are now more than a second behind the Audi as we finally take this corner the right way. I'd say I could have broken a little bit later as we head into this medium speed right into this high speed left. Luckily we don't go off. So now by this point we are about 7/10 right behind the Audi, and this is where the battle for P10 really will begin. As we're up on the rev limiter, coming into the braking zone, just braking just a smidgen early, just a smidgen later than the Audi in front of us, as the Audi in front goes a little bit wide and has a wash of oversteer on the exit. Now we are in the slipstream, trying to get that toe, staying in the back end, and we are now having a drag race down the straight. We end up getting fully ahead of him, and he ends up coming back, and we have to lift off there because it seems like he's angry. So now upon this long straight, we are now about 5/10 back, which is a lot in racing terms, but we are ever so slowly gaining because of that tiny bit of slipstream. As we dive into this corner down the inside, just can't get it to work, and the Audi ends up accelerating away about 5/7 now as we go down another long straight. As you can see, the theme of this track is very long straights with chicanes. That should be obvious. So now, upon the red limiter again, downshifting down to 5th, down to 1st, as we enter the left-hander, and now we're going to be down to 1st again, taking it very cautiously, but end up going a tiny bit wide onto the curb, and that's going to compromise our exit down this very long straight, up into 4th gear, 5th gear now. We are very much still gaining somehow on the Audi in front of us, and we are now coming into this very fast right-hander down to 5th gear, down to 4th, going wide, and the Audi ends up very much going completely wide, ends up slowing down enough for us to pass them down to third gear, and the Audi forcefully makes his way past us down the third gear, up the inside of the Audi, a little bit of contact on the rear end, and now we are heading into the double chicane once again, as we end up outbraking ourselves out of fear that the Audi might try to dive down the inside, and I was right, because here he goes down the inside, as you can see on that radar, as we end up hopping over the curb to try and avoid contact. As we head on to the last lap of the race, that's enough out of me. I'll leave this up to interpretation for the rest of the race. So that is a P10 for us, which is very much a net loss considering how we started P5 in the beginning of the race. But yeah, that was my first race around this track. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for future uploads. I'll try to do more of these. And yeah, you have a great day. Thank you for watching.